Hi friends, welcome to Pilates with Tal. We're going to be going through a fun little flow today that works a lot on the side body, including obliques and side glutes. So let's get started. We're going to get started on the mat standing. Feet are about mat width distance apart. They're externally rotated, and we're going to lower down into a squat as we take our hands into heart center and send our arms behind us as we come to standing. So lower and lift and keep going just like that. So just warming up through the body, lowering down with the glutes and pressing the hips forward as we come into standing. We're here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're gonna pause in our squat, lowering down, hands are in towards heart center, and we're gonna use our obliques to shift us over to the left and use our obliques to lift us back up, going over towards the other side, and lift. So going from side to side, and using our obliques to lower us and to lift us. So let's do 5 more. Last 3, 2, and last one on each side, coming all the way back. And then we're gonna find our feet facing forward a little bit closer together. We're gonna interlace our hands behind our head and press into the right leg as we bend the left leg, crunching in with the right elbow and extend. We'll start just working on the one side. So our elbow and knee don't necessarily need to touch. You can see that mine don't, but we're working a whole bunch of things here. And we're trying to stay stable through the body as we work from side to side. So it might help you to press nice and strong into the standing leg and send the opposite toes now in a diagonal. So maybe adding a little stretch on the way out might make your balance a bit more challenging, but it's a lot more fun. We're here for 3, 2, 1, holding the crunch. We're here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Coming back up to standing, keeping the hands where they are. We're gonna press into the left leg and then crunching in towards the right and extend. First, just making the movement kind of small, getting used to it in our body. And then maybe you extend the back toes and left elbow out a bit more as you lower. If you're doing so, being extra mindful of pressing into the left heel so you can grow nice and tall, stay nice and stable. We're here for 3, 2, 1, and we're pausing on the crunch. Pressing into the left heel, holding, holding, holding for 3, 2, 1, lowering the leg back down. And from here, we're gonna place our hands into heart center. Take our right hand to table, and we're gonna open the knee up towards the side and bring it back in. Open and in, and we're trying to do so without moving this part of the body. So we're just moving through the hip, and we're here for 6, 5, 4, 3, still pushing through the standing leg to keep you nice and tall. Last 2, 1, lower down. Same thing on the other side. So pushing into the standing leg, which is gonna be the right side. Left knee comes into table, and we're opening it out to the side and back in. Out and in. Core stays contracted, hands are pressing in towards one another. We're here for 7, standing nice and tall. Whew, breathing through it. Last 2, last 1, lower it down, And what we're gonna do next is press into the left leg again, and we're gonna bring the right knee into table, and then send that leg back as we hinge our front body forward. Press through the right heel, and then come back up to standing, knee comes into table. Keep going just like that. So we're not only using the pressure through the left leg to keep us balanced here, we're also really using the core. And if you're into this stability challenge, the next time you send your right leg back, you can send your arms forward and then back into heart center as you come to standing. And continuing just like that for 5 more. Ooh, maybe losing your balance and maybe finding it again. For 3, 2, 1, lowering it down, and let's do the same thing on the other side. So pressing into the right foot, left leg comes into table, and we're gonna send the left leg back as we hinge the front body forward, pushing through the back heel, and then coming back up to standing. Continuing just like that, just first getting used to the movement, and then seeing if you want to add your arms in. So just 2 more, and then you can add your arms in if you'd like to, or go for it now if you're feeling up for it. Last 4, 3, 2, and 1, coming back up to standing, shaking the legs out. And from here, we're gonna come straight down onto the mat. So we're gonna do some side glute work before we come into some bridges. So just finding your left side of your body on the mat. We're lying down, knees are bent, and we're either using the hand as a pillow or our bicep as a pillow. So whatever is most comfortable for you. Heels are in line with the glutes, and we're gonna push the top hip away and then start with some clamshell. So lifting the top knee and lowering, lifting and lowering. 8 more. Only lifting as high as you can go without the top hip coming along with you. And maybe placing your hand on your side glute just to be sure that it's activating. Last 3, 2, 1, and then we're gonna kick the leg out in front of us, point the toes, lower back down. Kicking and lowering, 8 more. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, keeping the leg extended. From here, we're gonna reach the top arm up overhead and then crunch the knee in towards the elbow and extend out long. Crunching and extending, keep going for 7, 6, so reaching toes and fingers away from one another. Lots of energy in the limbs. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're gonna pause with the limbs extended. Palm is facing forward and toes are pointed with lots of energy, and we're gonna pulse up, up, up for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then lower everything down, and let's come straight into the other side. So lowering onto your right side this time, finding your knees bent, heels in line with the glutes, head is lowered, either on your bicep or on your hand, and let's first just push the top hip away, and then lift up into a clamshell, lower back down. Lifting and lowering, and we're isolating in the side glute here. Core is contracted. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, Staying lifted on the top one, and then we're gonna point the toe, extend the leg, and bend the knee. Lifting and lowering, and keep going here where we got 7 more. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keeping the leg extended, reaching the top arm overhead, palm is facing forward, and we're gonna crunch elbow in towards the knee and extend out long. In and out, keep going just like that. Core stays contracted, we're nice and stable through the whole body. Keep going for 3, 2, and on our last one, pausing in the extension, palm is facing forward, toes are pointed, and we're gonna pulse up, up, up for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower everything down. From here, we're gonna come back onto our left side, and on our left side, we're gonna find left elbow directly under shoulder, hips are down onto the mat, and first we're just gonna dump into the side body and then lift it back up. So this engagement that you feel on the lift is what you wanna keep throughout this entire side series. Pushing hand in towards the mat, and then you can place your top hand on your hip as you lower up into a small side bridge, lower back down. Lift and lower, so you're using both your obliques and your side glutes to lift you. And if you want to add on, you could take your top arm up. If you want to add on even further, you can lift your top leg. That's going to add a bit more load to the movement. For 3, 2, 1, and you can either stay lifted or drop your hips as you crunch elbow in towards knee and extend and stay there. So reaching elbow in towards knee and feeling the extension, lots of energy pushing through your hand, through your leg for 5. Whether you're on the mat with the hips or not, we're still reaching with lots of energy for 2. And staying extended on that last one, tiny pulses up, up, up for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, lower it down. And then just take a really quick counter stretch. So staying on the side glute and then reaching over. Feeling a stretch through your left ribs, left obliques and side glutes. And whenever you're ready, going straight into the other side. Finding right elbow, right under right shoulder, and first just dumping all your weight down, and then pushing up, feeling the engagement under the right underarm, and then we'll start to lift the hips up and lower. Lift and lower. So we have 8 more, and as you wish, you can add your top arm for extra weight. You can add your top leg for some extra weight. Last 4, 3, 2, 1. And you either keep the hips lifted or lowered, and we're gonna crunch in and extend. Crunching and extending. And whether your hips are lifted or you're lowered, there's tons of energy from your top fingertips down towards your top toes, and you're pushing through the right forearm the entire time so that the right underarm stays engaged. Last 3, 2, 1, staying extended, tiny pulses up, up, up. Last 8, keep going. 4, 3, 2, 1, and then find that counter stretch. Same as the other side. And then whenever you're ready, helping yourself up into kneeling. And what we're gonna do here is interlace hands behind head. And just like before, we're doing little side crunches. So dropping your weight down towards the left, using your core to lift you back up, and then same thing on the other side. and lift. And keep going from side to side. So we're trying to dip straight down and then straight up. Almost as if you're in the middle of a toaster and you're trying to not touch the sides or the walls in front of you because they're hot. We don't want to get burned. Last 4, 3, 2, 1. And what we're gonna do next is let the arms go. They're gonna come down towards our sides, and what we're gonna do is drop onto the left side as we extend the right limbs overhead, and then curve in, same thing on the other side. So just a fun little side-to-side flow for you. Keep going here. Just maybe making it extra stretchy if that's what your body needs right now. Playing around, doing 5 more. Last 3, 2, and 1. Staying on whatever side you're on and just feeling the strength of this pose here. Pushing into your bottom hand, staying lifted through the side body. And one last time, switching to come onto the other side. And same thing, pushing into bottom hand, feeling the lift through the side body. For 3, 2, 1. Lower back down, and then find yourself back in standing. And from standing, we're gonna take the legs wide again, feet are externally rotated, and just finding some closing squats here. So lowering down, bending the knees, arms curl in towards one another, and then let it all go. Slight back bend as you come to standing. So just 9 more. Making this soft and flowy, and just moving for you right now. Last 3, 2, and last 1. Arms reach up and then come into heart center, walking your feet back in towards one another, and then taking a really quick moment just to acknowledge your efforts here and maybe acknowledge a shift in energy that might have happened after you set aside some time for yourself and did a little bit of movement. So just thanking yourself for showing up today. And a thank you from me, as always. Thank you so much for moving with me.